Welcome to the Cycle of Poverty, a game show that immerses you into the life of a random person here in the United States that lives under the poverty line. This is a game of chance and statistics. For example, you are most likely to be born in a very populous state like California, Texas, or New York. You are most likely to be born a minority if you're from a large city. So, let's get started. Let's start off at level 1, shall we? You're born, the miracle of life. You and your 3 other brothers and sisters are born to a 21-year-old single mother and an absent father. You all reside in Los Angeles, California, are first-generation Latino immigrants, make $25,000 a year, and qualify for welfare. Now, it's not all that bad. You could have been born in Alabama, the state with the highest crime rates. But enough about your family. Let's talk about you. You were born a boy with brown skin, brown eyes, and brown hair. So, good luck. See you in elementary school. 5 years passed by, a little brother was born, and you went to public school here in LA. Your school consists of mostly Black and Hispanic students, and most people share your culture and language. Unfortunately, your school is a Title I school. A Title I school is a school that has a large concentration of low-income families. See you in middle school. 6th grade, how exciting, you made it past elementary school. You begin to realize that you don't have much support from your family, you can't read as fast as your friends, and you don't really understand fractions. But that's very common. You try to catch your mother before her going to her night shift, but she is simply too busy and stressed to do anything about those issues. You start to fall behind, and it starts to show a couple months later. Your peers bully you about your intelligence, and it only motivates you even less. Your grades start to plunder, and you fail 6th grade. See you in high school. Welcome to high school. You have many disciplinary issues, you have almost gotten 5 girls pregnant, and you're failing most of your classes. Your hardworking mother has discouraged you from going to a college where they cannot afford it, and you have no thought in your future. You work at a fast food restaurant, and you struggle to get hired anywhere else. Detour time. Detour time. You're arrested and fined for robbery. You spend 6 months in juvenile detention, and you are no longer treated as a human teenager. You're expected to stick to a very harsh schedule and are expected to defend and protect yourself on your own. Any thought of having a bright future after this was completely thrown out the window. When you return to junior year, you decide to drop out because what else were you going to do without education? After that, you decide to pick up many more shifts. 2 years later, and you're now an adult. Your mom decides to kick you out. Because of high property taxes, you are now homeless, and you have no savings, no investments, a low-paying job, and no higher education. Because of this, you turn to drugs that you cannot afford and to robbery and stealing. Detour time, you get arrested for robbery. Because of your past conduct and no bail money, you get 3 years in prison. Now, 3 years in prison, doesn't sound that bad, right? What can't you do as a convicted felon? Let's talk about the consequences. You no longer can apply for federal or state grants, you have visa restrictions, you cannot apply for public housing, you no longer qualify for food stamps or welfare, you cannot have federal cash assistance, and you cannot vote in the state of California. Well, the rest is history. We know what happens after that. This is a perfect example of the average poverty cycle, with an extremely low income, an inability to provide food, shelter, and education, the lack of children to obtain skills and have low productivity, and the inability of a child to make money, only for a child to be born back into the system. Thank you for playing The Cycle of Poverty.